High fructose corn syrup in every comprehensive review seems to have roughly the same health effects on you as regular sugar. Okay, as natural sugar. So the idea that high fructose corn syrup is itself somehow obesogenic or health deleterious is just straight up non-starter. It's just wrong. And so the high fructose corn syrup thing is a myth.
All right, so let's continue with the food portion before we get back to the fitness portion, because that's super interesting.
Huge part of fitness.
You're welcome to look in my fridge right now, and it's basically all organic. So I guess I'm throwing Whole Foods an awful lot of money over there.
Nonsense. It's cheap.
But, yeah, whole paycheck food. Yeah. But all right, sticking with the food side of it, can you give me one more example of something that maybe we're all missing on the food side, nutritionally or otherwise, that is a sort of common thought that we all think we're doing right, that we're doing wrong?
Common thought.
In terms of how we eat or what we're eating or...
Yeah. Perfectionism. So people will see you eat like one candy bar and they're like, isn't that like poison? And you're like, do you really talk like that? Or are you just from the valley?
only on Instagram.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And so it turns out that if most of your food is really like high quality food, lean proteins, veggies, fruits, whole grains, healthy fats, some of the shit you probably have in your fridge. Yeah. If you eat mostly like that, and like on Friday nights or whatever, you go out with your friends, you have some just nonsense shit at a steakhouse, dude, you're totally golden. People have the perfectionist mindset and they think in terms of morality versus causality. They think good, bad. Mm-hmm. Like there are good foods. That means I'm on the side of the angels. I voted for all the right candidates even. Yeah. And then there's bad foods like the degenerates eat and they're made of literal poison. And like you can have McDonald's a few times a week and in the context of a calorie controlled diet. Who's eating McDonald's here in the crew?
We're on a real fitness thing over here, but this guy, we won't say his name on air.
No.
Suddenly, I'm getting a lot of pictures of McDonald's lately.
He just sends it to you to troll you.
Yeah.
Look what I'm eating.
But you're telling him it's okay.
If he's not eating an excessive calorie load of McDonald's multiple times a week, enough that his body fat starts to get higher. I don't know if this is true. He's looking a little thick. Yeah. Where's that? Yeah. Pull that sweater down a little bit. Let's see that. As long as he's not gaining weight from it, and it's not so much processed food that his blood work is bad, McDonald's a few times a week, chips, soda, etc. a few times a week is absolutely fine. The problem with extremism is it becomes radically unsustainable. So if you tell yourself, I'm a good person, I don't eat bad foods, you tend to do this thing where you get on the wagon, fall off the wagon. Because as soon as like you eat the bad food at a party because you've had a few drinks, which you also know you're not supposed to be having, and a few drinks every now and again is also totally fine. People are like, they do that fuck it all kind of mentality. Where they're like, wow, in for a penny, in for a pound. And then just go like weeks of like eating total crap. And then like, I got to clean up my life. They'll do a cleanse or some other stupid bullshit that doesn't work. Right. And then the cycle repeats itself. I'm sure you've been around some folks that have done that their entire lives.
Well, how much of that do you think is just how people are wired mentally? That some people are able to just kind of stay on a certain level. Like I've been eating very, very clean for the last 2 years, but I have no problem going to dinner on a Friday night. And then, I'm not eating like a ton of fries and all this fried stuff, but I will drink and I'll eat some whatever. Like I'm just not wired that I'm suddenly going to like go crazy. You know what I mean? So then I feel fine. But I feel like other people, somebody is just wired to, I had one crazy night. Next thing you know, it's 3 weeks later. And a bender.
I don't even remember anything.
Alcohol or food or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just sort of psychological.
It's psychological. There is like a spectrum of how people deal with it. On one end of the spectrum are people called the moderators. They can have a candy bar within their day and be totally fine. On the other end are the abstainers. Like it's either on or off for them, and they do really well with that. You can and should be an abstainer if that's just your psychology, but only your internal psychology and preference should guide that, not a misunderstanding of physiology. Like, well, these are bad foods. Like, nah, that's not how that works. It's all accumulation over time, and your body is incredibly robust. So if you give it like literal poison every now and again, not enough to kill you, it's totally good, man. You're totally fine. And so people have this kind of inbuilt extremism where they think everyone should be an abstainer, and that's not true. Another quick one, because it's on the subject, is diet soda and artificial sweeteners. So like the vast majority of people, if you poll them, know, they don't think, they know diet soda is bad for you. And literally will say, just drink regular soda. Why not just drink regular soda? In science, as a whole field, for sure nutritional science, if you were to rest your hat on anything hang your hat on anything that was like rock solid, it would be the idea that what are called non-nutritive sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, etc., are the safest food additives ever tested, straight up. And more testing has gone into sucralose than has gone into the vast majority of chemicals that you eat in natural foods. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any Latin American ancestry?
I don't think so.
I did have an assistant.
But I'm here in Miami. There's a lot of Cubans. Does that help?
That does. Right? It's by proximity.
Okay.
Do you eat avocado?
Eat a lot of avocado.
Okay, so avocado is like a New World food. They didn't have it in Eastern Europe when you and I evolved.
Right.
Jewish evolution, whatever that looks like, that page of the book. There are like hundreds of chemicals in avocados. And Dave, you have absolutely no idea if some of those do not interact with Ashkenazi Jewish anatomy and physiology very well. There could be some kind of weird epigenetic thing where it's slowly killing you and you have no idea. But we know almost certainly that does not happen with sucralose, because sucralose has been tested into the ground. But I await comprehensive testing of every single ingredient in avocados, for example. But nobody gives a shit. You go to Whole Foods, you're like, avocados, they're natural. Look how fucking green they are. Of course they're good for me. But they're like, oh, so here's a funny thing. Whole Foods is great. I love Whole Foods, right? They don't carry any regular brand diet sodas or sodas at all, because their customer base, if they saw like Coke Zero, which is inert for your health, it doesn't do anything good for your health or bad for you. You can have as much Coke Zero as you want, as long as the caffeine doesn't drive you insane. It's totally fine. But their customer base knows Coke's bad for you.
So they can just have the off-brand.
Artificial sweetener, bad. But so they'll have the other artificial, they'll have monk fruit, stevia, I don't know how you say that. Because they're natural. That is the naturalistic fallacy back again. And so if you want to drink diet soda, and especially if you drink the caffeine-free stuff, because, not to screw up your circadian rhythms or whatever, you can have as much of it as you want, and you're going to be 100% fine. That statement I just made, that was a controversial statement. When we make reels out of this, people will bitch in the comments, the whole thing.
Now, I assume you would not make the same argument for non-diet soda with the amount of sugar.
Non-diet soda with that amount of sugar.
High fructose corn syrup.
High fructose corn syrup in every comprehensive review seems to have roughly the same health effects on you as regular sugar. Okay, as natural sugar. So the idea that high fructose corn syrup is itself somehow obesogenic or health deleterious is just straight up a non-starter. It's just wrong. And so the high fructose corn syrup thing is a myth. Now, how does soda get you in trouble? If you eat normal healthy foods, and like a can of Coke has like 40 grams of carbohydrate, 40 grams of pure sugar. If you have to have 220 grams of carbs for the day to get your macros going, and use the RP Diet app, you're welcome. There's the plug. I've done my corporate duty. Good job, Mike. You have 220 grams of carbs you need to eat per day. You're at 180. And you've allotted so that during dinner, you can have a Coca-Cola Classic, like they did in those 50s ads. There's absolutely not a damn thing wrong with that. You will pay zero health downsides. You can have
even on the sugar side. Aside the carbs.
Oh yeah. You can have tons of sugar as long as the rest of your diet is healthy. You're getting plenty of protein. You're getting enough fiber, getting enough micronutrients. If your diet is all Coca-Colas for carbs, you're not getting any vitamins and minerals really, because those come from veggies, fruits, whole grains. So if you're having enough of those and you want a Coke every now and again, there's nothing poisonous about sugar at all. The way you get in trouble with Coca-Cola is this, not Coca-Cola specifically, every single soda that's not diet. Its ratio of how many calories it brings to how tasty it is, to how not filling it is a giant travesty. So no one's ever like, can you imagine so you're on a plane, like the stewardess is coming around giving you snacks and sodas, and you drink a Coca-Cola, and then they come up with the snacks later, because there's drinks first, snacks after. Can you imagine how nonsensical of a statement it would be if she was like, do you want cookies or nuts? You were like, oh, I just had that Coke and I got full. She'd be like, what? Doesn't make any sense. Everyone pretty much intuitively understands that sugar in a sweetened beverage is like calories that basically don't fill you up at all, and they're delicious. You're not going to have one Coke. You're just going to keep sipping them all night long. That's how you get in trouble with soda, because it's a ton of extra calories that adds to your day. The reason soda does such havoc to the American health on aggregate is because a lot of people will consume not so great diet to begin with. They're sure shit not counting their calories, and every drink will be soda. And then their caloric excess, instead of being like 500 extra calories per day, is like 1,000 or 1,500. They gain pounds every week. They get obese. They're also inactive. And then it's all just super down the drain. So there's nothing specifically wrong about soda or sugar period, unless it is used to generate a caloric surplus, an excess of calories that lasts long enough for you to gain substantial weight. And then it's really bad news. So one of the things I say, probably nobody, almost no one, should be drinking regular soda. Mm-hmm. Just drink diet. Diet soda is amazing. It's a miracle. It's a miracle of engineering.
For more insightful conversations on how to live the good life, go check out our lifestyle playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a wide variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.